Good morning. Happy New Year to you. It's lovely to be back here with you, and I hope you had a restful break and you're now raring to go into the new year. So I thought today I would talk about the true you, and the reason for that is that at this time of year you often see adverts all about the new you and inviting you to go on a new diet, take up a new exercise routine, transform your life in some way. And that's fine if that's what you want to do, but for me it's really important to get back to the essence of who we really are. And I think the focus on trying to be the new, in other words different you, is somehow negating your true self. But it doesn't have to be that way. You know, if you want to make changes, that is absolutely fine, but I would just urge you to really focus on whatever it is that feels right for you. So at the heart of it is really about acceptance of who you are. And a lot of the adverts that talk about creating the new you and making changes can sometimes make us feel that we're not good enough just as we are, which we absolutely are. And so, as I say, this is why I think it's really important to focus on being the true you. And part of that is knowing who the true you is. And I know I've done a video recently about knowing yourself because that's super important. And I was posting this morning on LinkedIn about New Year's resolutions, which I haven't done for years and years. And again, if New Year's resolutions work for you, then great, get on and do them if you haven't done them already. But for me, I find that making New Year's resolutions ended up making me feel worse because, you know, I'd start out with all of these ideas of things that usually I wanted to change, which comes back to what I was just talking about, rather than accepting the way I am. And then, you know, within a few days I'd broken them and I would start feeling guilty, I would feel shame about it. And then that puts me in a low vibrational state, you know, which I really don't want to be in. I want to be in a high vibrational state. I want to be enjoying life, not feeling bad about myself and bad about my life. And so that's why I really love to talk to you about focusing on the true you and what you really want. You know, what is it that you want? And if you find that that's actually something that you don't know and you find it quite difficult to think about, then I'd urge you just to take some quiet time when you can. It doesn't take long, but just 5 or 10 minutes, sit down quietly and just focus inwardly and really feel into what it is that you want. So if, for example, you're thinking about making a change, whatever that might be, just really feel into how making that change makes you feel. And if it makes you feel good and excited, then great, go for it. But if you feel a bit kind of like, nah, I'm not really sure, and in your gut it doesn't feel right, then don't make that change, you know, stay as you are. I talked about the true you a few years ago, and I did actually just have a look back at what I'd said on that occasion. And I'm happy to say I still feel the same way. But it reminded me of a story that I told then, which was something that had been told to me by a friend who was somebody who had for years made a New Year's resolution to lose weight. And, you know, that was something that that particular person wanted to do. But each year she broke it within a few days because she was on a too restrictive diet and it wasn't right for her. And then she ended up feeling even worse about herself. But she was telling me this story because in this particular year that she was telling me, she had decided that she wasn't going to make a resolution to lose weight. She was just going to just let things be. And of course, as you can imagine, what then happened was because she was accepting things the way they were, she started eating more healthily and she did start to lose weight. And it's so often that's the case. Once we accept ourselves and who we truly are, that's when changes can start to happen if we want them to happen. But it is all about what feels right for you. Now, when I was thinking about this and preparing for talking to you today, it occurred to me that the fact that my business is called New Dawn might make it sound as if actually what I'm all about is the new you. So I might sound hypocritical, but actually New Dawn isn't about new you at all. it's about going back to the real you, and that's why my lovely logo, created by the lovely Amanda Duffin for me, is a flame, because it's all about reigniting that flame that's inside you. It's still burning there somewhere. I always think of it a bit like a pilot light on a boiler. You know, it's always burning there somewhere, quite small, until you switch the boiler on, and then it really comes out into a big flame and really gets going. And for me, that's what New Dawn is all about. It's about getting into that pilot light within you that's always there burning, and just igniting it and making it expand into the true, real, powerful version of you. So that's what I'm talking about. You know, be you. Everything is much better when we are ourselves. Now, I spent years not being myself. I know now that's because I'm an HSP, which is a highly sensitive person, and it's very common for sensitive people to mask who they are as a kind of a survival technique. But, you know, I've learned over the years that actually it wasn't great for me. It caused me huge amounts of stress, and it's the same when I talk to clients. Not being yourself is incredibly stressful. It builds up over the years as well, and, you know, you get energy blockages. Your life just doesn't feel right, and you attract the wrong kind of people because your tribe can't find you, because they're not seeing the real you. Whereas once you ignite that flame inside of really being the real you in the world, then people see you as you really are, and so your tribe is attracted to you. So being the true you is just super important, and it's all about finding your joy as well. What lights you up? What makes you joyful? Anybody who's been around me for any length of time will know that I absolutely love dancing, and I bang on about it all the time because it's something that really lights me up. You know, this New Year's Eve I went out with some friends to a lovely event, which was a dinner and then a good old boogie afterwards. And so yesterday I woke up feeling super energetic, super energised, because I'd spent the night before dancing, which really raises my vibration. It's something that causes me great joy. And so that's, you know, and that's how I like to live as much as possible. Hence the chakra dancing, which I've talked about a lot, and we'll be talking about a lot more. But you will have other things, you know, dancing's not for everybody, but you will have other things that light you up. And if you don't know what they are, or you can't remember what they are, or when you last did them, go back to what I was saying earlier about sitting quietly with yourself and really focusing inwardly for 5 or 10 minutes, because then that's when your true self can start to speak to you, and you'll just get little messages pop into your head, seemingly from nowhere, but they're actually coming from within, from the real you, telling you what it is that you love to do and what you need to do more of. So I think that's enough for this morning, because as you can tell, it's a topic that I absolutely love, and I could go on about it for ages, but I've said the gist of the points that I really wanted to get across. Just be you. You know, if you haven't been you up to now, make 2024 the year that you do. So all I want to say before I go is that if you do want to make intentions for this year, because I'm not saying don't, you might be somebody who, like me, loves to do a vision board, and I should be creating mine in the next few days. I've already started gathering all the bits and pieces for it, and it's an exercise that I love. Now, I'm running 2 vision board workshops this year, so if you are in North Devon and you would like to join one, the first one is already sold out. That's the one on the 6th of January, but the second one on the 13th of January still has places available. So if you head to Ticket Tailor, you can find booking details there. Alternatively, have a look on this page and you'll see where I've posted before the link to book. I will probably repost that for you, just so that it's there without you digging for it. So as I started, I just want to wish you a really happy new year. I hope that 2024 is a brilliant one for you, and I hope that it's one in which you can really be the true you. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll be back here again next week. Bye for now.